Hey there, fellow fantasy football freaks. Yeah, I know, usually I'm on here with some banter and business and all that kind of crap. But unfortunately, I'm running a little bit behind this week. I've had Bob's burial and funeral and all of that I've been doing. I'm taking my kid to a music class. Just a bunch of shit I'm trying to organize and get figured out so that I can make sure to get this content to you on time every day. On tomorrow's show, I'm going to go over the new schedule, and that's the schedule we're going to stick with for a while. Also on tomorrow's show, I'm going to do the TyRant. I normally do it right before the top 10, but again, I wanted to make sure to get all of this information out to you before you put in your waiver claims. So instead, I'm going to do the TyRant on tomorrow's show, which is a new show that I like to call Freak Out or Chill Out. We're going to go over some players who had some performances that were a bit scary over the weekend, and I'll let you know if it's time to freak out or if we should just chill out. Anyway, that show's coming tomorrow along with the TyRant, but in just a sec, you're getting my top 10 waiver wire targets for week 2. Quick reminder, please like, share, subscribe, alright? If we get 300 subscribers before the end of the month, then I've got something awesome for you in October. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. My top 10 waiver wire pickups for week 2. Number 10, Tim Patrick. He was a thing when Sutton went down last season. And he was a thing in week 1 after Judy went down with a high ankle sprain. Even before Judy went down, Tim Patrick was getting in some work. And afterward, he was the go-to target over Sutton. Judy will be back in the second half of the season, but for now, Patrick might be the guy to own on that offense. Pick him up. Number 9, Kenny Gainwell. Before the season began, I was saying this guy was going to overtake Boston Scott for the backup job, and he sure did. But it looks like he's already got standalone flex appeal if this Sunday's performance is anything to go by. And if Sanders were to go down with an injury, this dude has high-end RB2 with RB1 upside written all over him. You know as well as I do that running backs are a hot commodity, so Gainwell is worth picking up and stashing or even starting at flex in deeper leagues. Number 8, Sterling Shepard. The Giants are the Chernobyl of the NFL. A big, toxic, shitty mess. Their GM is on the hot seat, their defense is mediocre, their offense is in shambles, their star running back is struggling to return from injury, and their quarterback is only slightly less painful to watch than the Paul brothers ruining the sport of boxing. Fuck those chumps, the Pauls and most of the Giants. Sterling Shepard was the only bright spot on that team, hauling in 7 out of 9 targets for 113 yards and a touchdown. You know, I've always liked Sterling Shepard. His talent's just been wasted on this current incarnation of the Giants. So put that talent and those numbers to better use on your fantasy squad. Get 'em. Number 7, Kirk Cousins. Everyone scoffed when I said that Kirk Cousins was going to be a top 10 QB this season. Hey TyRant, how can you have Kirk Cousins as a top 10 QB? You must be stupid. He'll never be a top 10 QB. The passing game is going to suffer this season because Cook's going to do all the work on the ground. Kirk Cousins will be taking a step back in production this season, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, guess who produces a top 10 QB yesterday with 351 passing yards and 2 touchdowns?
You like that? You like that?
Hold you. The Vikings O-line was the most improved department on the squad over the offseason, and that showed Sunday. Cousins had the time to make the right plays, and the more he remains upright, the more he's bound to make. This week, he faces the Cards with a talent-depleted secondary. I think the Vikings' offensive line will protect better than the Titans' miserable O-line. We could see another top 10 performance from Cousins this week, so snag him while you can. Number 6, Nelson Agholor. He was the top wide receiver target in the Pats' offense, this time. That doesn't mean he's not going to put up a dud while Jacoby kills it next game. This is Coach Belichick after all, which means, until he retires, you'll never be able to rely on Pats players' fantasy production. Hell, they may bring some dude up from the practice squad next week to be the top guy, who knows? But for now, it seems Agholor is the guy, and that means he should be owned in over 50% of leagues. He's talented, and I hope the Pats finally utilize those talents. Most likely, his role is going to change from game to game. Because that's how the Pats roll. Snag him up anyway, though. Put him on your pine and see if he produces with any sort of consistency. If so, you've got at least a wide receiver 3 there. If not, trade him after a big game. Number 5, Christian Kirk. I told you in the preseason, not Moore, not Green, but Christian Kirk is the number 2 wide receiver for Kyler Murray in this Cardinals offense. These two formed a tight bond over the past couple years, and it's starting to show up more on the field. We've seen some flashes of it here and there, but I think this season will be somewhat of a breakout for Christian Kirk. His targets, receptions, and touchdowns have improved each season that he's been in the NFL, and now it's showing up for fantasy managers. Pick him up. Number 4, Jameis Winston. Hi, I'm the TyRant, and I'm a Jameis Winston apologist. I just think this guy's got a bad rap. No, he doesn't win games for his team, but he does put up decent fantasy numbers when given the opportunity. Sure, he's had some erratic moments, but certainly not on the level of Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. Listen, you just don't know Jameis how I know Jameis, okay? He's a good guy. Anyway, I wouldn't use him every week, no, but look what he did to the Packers on Sunday. Holy bejesus. Completing 14 out of 20 passes for 148 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was the QB2 last week, and this week he gets to go up against a Carolina D that isn't all that great against the pass. Jameis is a matchup-based QB only, but this is a pretty good matchup for him. Can he do it again? Pick him up and find out. Number 3, Terrace Marshall. I told you before the season started that he could be this year's Justin Jefferson. Well, it looks like a grip of top rookies are fighting for that spot. Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, as well as Marshall. Terrace deserves to be in that conversation. No, he didn't produce as much as the others this past week, but he was right behind DJ Moore as the number 2 target in that offense, even with Robbie scoring the touchdown on that one catch he got in a double revenge game with Darnold. I expected more out of Robbie, but this actually excites me as I'm a Terrace Marshall fan. I think Marshall has snagged the number 2 wide receiver spot in this offense and could become the number 1 by the end of the season. I knew this kid was special, and he's available in like 80% of leagues, so go snatch him up. Number 2, Jalen Reagor. The Jalen connection is a thing. I told you all that it was last season, and I told you all that it was in the preseason. And guess what? It's happening. Yeah, Devontae Smith's the superstar of the future, but Reagor's the number 2 guy, even ahead of Dallas Goedert. He caught 6 out of 6 targets for 49 yards and a touchdown. Solid wide receiver 2 production. It was obvious from what the coaches said in training camp and in the preseason and what they saw last year that they love Reagor and feel that they have a Pro Bowl caliber receiver in him. So why in the holy hell is he only owned in 21% of leagues? That's just not right. Jalen Reagor should be considered a solid wide receiver 3 or flex option with wide receiver 2 upside week to week. If he isn't owned by over 50% of the leagues next week, I'm going to come through that screen and slap you all right in the cheeks. You think I won't? Try me. Or better yet, just go pick up Reagor. You'll thank me later. And of course, it shouldn't be a surprise because there's really only one waiver wire target worth blowing your fab or top waiver priority on this week, and that's Eli Mitchell. Trey Sermon got his ass kicked to the curb in favor of this kid, and Eli looked like the bell cow back for this team after Mostert went down. I joked about how Mostert would go down in the first half but could produce high-level running back numbers beforehand. Well, half that prediction came true, and even if he comes back, I think what the 49ers coaching staff saw from Eli Mitchell on Sunday solidifies him as the top running back in that offense. It better anyway. Dude was on fire, and I don't see that fire going out anytime soon. He's gonna be this year's James Robinson, the rookie running back no one had on the radar in preseason, but practically won their league by picking up. On a Niners squad known for sharing the load at running back, this dude had 19 carries. That's a bell cow back right there. At a clip of 19 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown for 3/4 of the game, extrapolate that out into a full game and he could be putting up consistent RB1 numbers in no time. Blow all the fab you can afford, cash in your high waiver priority, trade. Hell, if you've got some dirt on your league mates, blackmail him if that's what it's going to take to get this guy. Whatever it takes, get him. The Niners have the best rushing attack in football, and if any guy is getting 20 plus carries in this offense, especially a guy with the talent of Mitchell, they're going to be a stud real quick. League winning pickup right here. That's it for my top 10, but a couple more names real quick. I like KJ Hamler. I like KJ Osborne, and I like Brian Edwards, all right? I'm going to get more into those guys throughout the week. But anyway, new show coming tomorrow. Freak out or chill out. Don't get scared of your studs. We'll go over all that tomorrow, all right? Until then, good luck on your waiver claims. I'm out. Peace.